Hello everyone! XYZ Festival is coming in a few days, and it's the second time we have a XYZ Festival, so we have a bit of insight about what deck will be the most competitive. So I prepared for you one very free-to-play deck and two decks that are a bit more expensive but have shown great results in the past. So let's jump first for the free-to-play deck. It will be a free-to-play Megalith deck. Okay, in this deck I put no UR card and very few SR, and most of them are even optional. So it's an extremely free-to-play deck that has been played in normal rare strategies and that you can play in the XYZ Festival. There are very few of those normal rare decks that you can actually play in XYZ Festival, and overall the XYZ Festival meta is extremely expensive. But this is a really good option for budget players. So you're playing the Incantation Engine. I won't go in detail in the Megalith and Incantation card because I'm not the best Megalith player. But basically, Incantation Engine allow you to add a ritual monster to your hand to gain card advantage. This is the same for Preparation of Rites, which allow you to add one ritual monster from your deck to your hand, and it has a second part where you can add one ritual spell from your graveyard to your hand. This part is optional and you can activate this card even if you don't have any ritual spell in your graveyard, which is quite important because you are playing Megalith. Megaliths are the ritual monster that summon themselves from the hand without any ritual spell. You can ritual summon from your hand or from your board using ritual monster to ritual summon even better monsters. And you can do that at your turn and during your opponent's turn. It's quite flexible. You have some boss monsters like Phaleg, which can be very big and have a huge attack, and monsters that can destroy a lot of things like Better. If this card is ritual summon, you can target cards your opponent control up to the number of ritual monsters with different names in your graveyard. You will have a lot of them. Destroy them. So you can destroy basically your whole opponent board. That's a great card. The only downside to all the Megalith cards is that their attacks are very, very low. Like your boss monster is 1500, only Phaleg can deal a lot of damage because it is 2500 that gain 300 attack for each ritual monster in your graveyard. So you will need to survive a bit, and for this your Megalith Engine is already fine doing so, but you will add a few spells like Book of Moon. Book of Moon will be extremely powerful in XYZ Festival because since there is no things such as link monsters, about anything can be Book of Moon. So you can put face down your opponent card so that they can't use it as XYZ material, or you can put the XYZ monster themselves face down to protect yourself from their effects. I'm playing one Twin Twister. If you don't have it, you can play another spell, Trap Removal, that is rare and free, that's no issue. Megalith Unformed is one very good Megalith card that allows you to ritual summon one Megalith ritual monster from your deck. You're ritual summoning from the deck, that's crazy. And you can also alternatively make your Megalith monster gain 500 attack, which can be quite meaningful because, as I told you, the only weak point of this deck is that you can sometimes have a hard time finding enough attack damage to finish your opponent. A few trap cards. Lost Wind. Lost Wind is the best rare normal card to negate effect. You negate one monster effect, and when this card is sent to the graveyard, if your opponent special summon from the extra deck, you get to put back Lost Wind on your field. So, very good negate. And finally, Megalith Emergence. Megalith Emergence, you can target one Megalith monster in your graveyard, special summon it in defense position. Be aware that Yu-Gi-Oh! Rule states that you can't special summon ritual monster if they haven't been ritual summoned first, so you can't just throw things in your grave and special summon them with Megalith Emergence, you must first ritual summon them. And then we have a few cards in the extra deck. Honestly, you can play none. It doesn't really matter. If you have good rank 4 or good rank 8 monster, just play them. As well, in the main deck, if you have good entrap like Ash Blossom, like Maxi, like Infinite Impermanence, of course you should play them. You can reduce the size of the incantation engine, for example, to find some room, or replace stuff like Lost Wind with better staples. So, very accessible deck for everyone. If you have better card, you can replace some of them, but it should be good enough to have a good time in the XYZ Festival, which is not easily done if you don't have a lot of viewer powder, because this festival tends to be extremely expensive. Next deck is Mathmech. Mathmech I chose because it's already an extremely competitive, if not the best deck in the meta right now. So a lot of people have this deck, and this deck will do extremely good in XYZ Festival too. I'm running a lot of Entrap, obviously, like Effect Veilor, Maxi, Ash Blossom, Ghost Bell. But I'm also running quite a few Mathmech cards. It's a very standard deck list that you can find example in masterduelmeta.com, and you can find a lot of replay for this deck because it's a very common deck played in tournament. So feel free to check online. You have the Mathmech line. So the only difference we will have in the XYZ tournament compared to the classic tournament experience with Mathmech is that you're not running Parallel Exceed and you're not running Link Monster. Link Monster in Mathmech allow you to have stronger follow plays and also to OTK your opponent with the double attack 10,000 access code combo. So you don't have this option. It will be a bit more of a grind game in this game mode, but in general your turn 1 play is so strong with Mathmech Super Factorial set that your opponent will surrender anyway. You go first, you do your combo. Once again, I won't explain the combo, please check online. There are so many examples of this deck being run by a really good player. And during your opponent turn, you use Super Factorial to summon 3 Mathmech from your graveyard, including 1 Diameter, it's the most important one, and make Laplacian. What it does is that Diameter effect states that you can negate 1 effect during your opponent turn, anyone, because it has been summoned, used as a XYZ material this turn. And Laplacian does that you can send to the grave 1 card from the monster zone, spell and trap zone, and end of your opponent. So you -3 your opponent and they surrender. Extremely strong combo, really viable in the XYZ Festival. And finally, we have the Zoodiac decklist. Zoodiac is an all-time XYZ classic. It works very well as long as you can access a lot of entrap, and in this festival it's also the entrap festival. Every entrap is available. So you're playing Effect Veilor, Maxi, Ash Blossom, you're playing Called by the Grave, Cross Designator, Infinite Impermanence, and on top of that you're putting your Zoodiac engine. I'm going for 3 Whiptail, 3 Swordblade, 3 Ram. You can change a bit the ratio if you like, it's not really important. I think having 3 Swordblade and a few Ram is the most important really. And you can also search them with Tenki. Since you're going second, because you untrap a lot your opponent, then you make this with your Zoodiac engine. You're also playing a lot of great go second card. I'm talking about Pancratops, I'm talking about Alpha the Master of Beast, I'm talking about Nibiru, and some removal. I'm talking about Reigeki, RPC the Duster. Monster Reborn is a bit special sometimes. Your opponent managed to destroy your first summon with Zoodiac, and then you a bit cuck because you can't slap X's monster on top of it. Monster Reborn is here to solve this issue. If your opponent destroy your normal summon, you can just Monster Reborn it. You have great draw power with triple Pot of Desire and triple Tactics Talent, allowing you to draw 2 cards if your opponent activates a monster effect during your main phase. And finally, a little bit more removal once again. Triple Sword of Concealing Light. Don't underestimate this card. This is a great call in XYZ Festival. Since there is no link monster, every monster can be set in face down defense position. Setting a monster in face down defense position means they can't use their effect, which is great because you just want to set them face down, then make a big Zeus and send them all to the graves. It's devastating in Zoodiac. You should play 3 of them. And that's it for the deck list. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it will help you to do great on the XYZ Festival. For the first deck, it's really free to play. For the 2 others, there are a lot of UR staples, but as you know, UR staples can be replaced with other cheaper staples, so play with what you have and you will do great with any of those deck ID. Thank you, see you next time.